Hello everyone! In this video, we'll be learning how to maneuver in the 3D viewport, how to bring shapes into the work plane, how to move them, and also how to manipulate them to create our own unique shapes. These foundational skills will be crucial into creating our own 3D models. Without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we must understand before bringing in shapes into the 3D viewport is how to move in and out of the viewport. There are three types of movement that can be done to move around in the viewport. The first method is called panning. Panning includes movements such as up, down, left, and right. Hold down the middle mouse button or MMB and drag your mouse to begin panning. The second method to move around in the viewport is called rotate. Hold down the right mouse button or RMB and drag your mouse to begin rotating. Our last method of moving around the viewport is to zoom in and out. Scroll the middle mouse button or MMB up and down to zoom in. Now that we have moving in the 3D viewport down, let's get to moving some shapes. To get started, let's go to our shape library and select the shape you want to bring in to the work plane with the left mouse button or LMB and click and drag your shape into the work plane. Now that we have our shape in our work plane, let's move it around. Click and drag the shape with the LMB in the work plane. So you will see that it's selected with the blue highlight. So we click and drag with LMB and we are able to move around our shape on the work plane. Now we need to know how to move it in the third direction, which is up and down or the Z-axis. So as indicated by the cone on the top of this shape, this will help us move its height. This next portion of the video will deal with scaling the dimensions of the shapes. So as you have noticed, there are set of squares that appear on our shapes whenever we drag one in. If you click and drag one of the white squares in the corner, you will notice that it will begin to drag the other squares alongside it, except for one at the very corner. This will be indicated as our anchor square, which is the position in which it's grounded in. So right now, this is just manipulating its length and now its width. Finally, we have one more white square that's on the top of this cylinder. Now, what could this possibly be indicating? It indicates the control we have over the shape in terms of what its height is going to be. One quick note before we move on into rotation is that if we hold down the shift button and drag any of these squares in any direction, it will uniformly scale the shape, meaning that it will stay proportional to what it was when it was smaller. Alongside moving and scaling our shapes, we are able to rotate our objects 360 degrees on all three axes, the X, Y, and Z. On the perimeter of the square that we shall place here and look at, you will see that there are these weird curved arrows, each one of them rotating the square on a different axis. Our last trick that we will be discussing today is quite a unique one. It's not necessarily moving our shapes, but rather manipulating our shapes using holes. So the first thing that we want to do is bring in a shape that we want to create a hole in. Let's pick the cylinder to be our donut. In terms of the shape that we want to bring in to be the hole cutter, I'm going to bring in this hexagonal shape. So I'll be using the tools that we have learned in this lesson to bring this hexagonal shape to the shape I want it in. Now that we have our shapes in place, we're going to want to create our shape cutter, in this case the hexagonal shape, into a hole. So we go into the properties in polygon and then switch from solid to hole, and as you can see, our shape has become transparent and is indicating where the hole will be created on both sides. Now that we have our shape as a whole, we're going to have to select both shapes. In this case, click and drag and select both shapes and group our shapes. So we're going to either click on the group shape button or Control G to group our shapes. And now, there is a hole in our shape. Now with most of the tools at your fingertips, I think it's time to get modeling. For your second quiz, you will be creating a robot using the reference shown on screen. Do your best to get as close as you can to the model in this picture. This quiz will help you exercise all the skills you've learned since the first video and implement them into the project. As for the color of the robot, go nuts. Choose your own colors, pink, blue, red, yellow, This is going to be your own personal robot. And if you don't want to stick to the reference, go ahead and make him fatter, make him taller, make him have longer arms. It's your choice. This is going to be your robot. I'm just giving you guys a reference as to what you should try to strive for. A robot with arms, a head, a body, some short legs, and maybe more antennas than one. For the next video, we'll be exploring the second 3D program that we are going to work with in this video series called Blender. It's a tad more advanced and requires you to use more keyboard shortcuts than anything that I've taught you for Tinkercad. But at this rate that we're going in terms of 3D modeling and learning what we need to do, you will be becoming 3D experts in no time.